Hey, it's episode 29 of Bonfire Man. Here's how Bonfire Man works. I'm locked to specific chunks in the game. I have to interact with everything in my unlocked chunks exactly once. So that means every tree needs to be chopped, every enemy needs to die, every resource needs to be consumed. When I interact with something, it is exhausted. When something is exhausted, that means I'm not allowed to interact with it again. I'm allowed to randomly unlock a new chunk whenever all of the entities in my current chunks have been so exhausted. When I enter a new chunk, I rest at a bonfire, as in the Souls games. Resting at a bonfire refreshes or unexhausts all of the content in previous chunks that I've already been to. Now I have to exhaust all entities in both the old and new chunks to continue to progress. My objective is to unlock every chunk in RuneScape. According to my estimates, I think that's going to take about 10,000 hours to complete. If you're interested in all the specifics, minutia, minor rules, exceptions, that kind of a thing, there's a Google Doc in the description that lists all of that. Let's go ahead and get to the playthrough. Okay, so we got another pretty boring chunk this time, just like last episode, but I don't have any way to weasel out of it, so I'm not going to weasel out of it. It's getting to be that the past chunk content, like the Slayer task and the Sour Hog drops and the Spoils of War from Soul Wars are actually quite interesting now. I do have a lamp on me that I'm going to want to use on agility, so I think I'm going to go head to the new chunk, cross the fog wall, light the bonfire. I should be able to clear what's in there really fast. I guess let me grab a weapon, but I'm probably going to pop back to Draenor Village here in a second just to try to get an agility level. All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and cross the fog wall. Cool. And light a bonfire. And rest. Excellent. Okay. There are a lot of trees here. Nice thing is there's a lot of yew trees here. And we're not going to be able to cut them to depletion this cycle. Yeah, we've got yew trees. We've got crimson swifts that I can't catch until I get a bird snare. We have regular birds, and we have a lot of regular trees. So I guess I'm just going to try to get that part over with. All right, here we are with the objectives overview. If you don't care, skip to the next time code. As usual, let's start by looking at our 100% completed chunks. Exhausting all of the resources in a chunk makes it 100% complete, which lets us exhaust some extra resources from it in future cycles. Here's a summary of those extra resources. I've talked about these at length in prior episodes, but the changes now, I can deplete the lobster and tuna nodes that are in South Unka Ruins. I've finally paid back for my mistake of mining the shooting star in East Lumbridge Swamp. I can actually do that again this episode. Eventually, I'm going to be able to deplete the shrimp and herring nodes in Lumbridge Swamp East, but I have a couple more cycles to go to make up for fishing them in error too early. So that's all of the 100% completed chunks. Let's look now at the quest-blocked chunks. I can't finish these because there are quests there that I can't finish yet. These are almost the same as last episode, however, I've changed the East Varrock Mine chunk from being quest-blocked to item-blocked. We can do everything in the quest What Lies Below, but we need a Chaos Talisman to be able to finish it. Next up are skill blocked chunks, same as prior episodes. Need really high construction for master stashes, need to be able to pickpocket guards, and need to be able to mine for mithril and adamantite. Guards and mithril are actually pretty close on the horizon, especially now that we can mine that shooting star again in Lumbridge Swamp East, but I don't think we'll be hitting either of them in this episode. Then we've got item blocked chunks, so this has been at 0 for a while, but now it's up to 2. As you can see on the right there, I've changed the What Lies Below East Varrock Mine chunk to a Chaos Talisman. Pretty much we have to get into the Abyss for this, or we have to get a lucky rare drop table drop from an underground creature. And you'll see there in the bottom left corner that our most recently unlocked chunk, the Soul Isle Hunter chunk, is also blocked by an item. We can't finish this because we don't have access to a bird snare. And then last up, we've got chunk-blocked chunks. We can't finish the Soul Wars lobby because we still need to get to the east side of the chunk to chop some trees. Previously, we also were blocked on the west side, but that's the chunk we just unlocked, so we're halfway there. And I think that's it for the objective summary for today. Let's get back to the episode. Well, I can't even reach the bird that's over here. Maybe I can reach it when I get the next chunk to the side. That's one of the two birds. I don't know where the other one is. I might have to look it up here in a second. The wiki doesn't even register there being birds here. I think the chunk picker is right in this case. All right, well, I'm missing a single bird. I'm going to try to look for it. There it is. Okay. I can't get that second one, though, because I think it requires coming from the other side of the chunk. And I'm going to chop these trees, but I think I need to get this lamp out of the way. Make sure I specify that I can't reach the other one. And I'm going to go do agility real quick. All right, here in North Draenor, hoping for a slow Mark of Grace spawn rate. Apparently Marks of Grace spawn like 1/5 as often when you're 20 levels above a course, which is terrible, but it's great for me because it makes these older courses potentially relevant in an ongoing way once we get 20 levels above them. Now we got a long ways to go for that. We have to get to 30 agility for that to apply here. All right, looks like I'm definitely going to be able to at least hit 23 agility. Didn't get it in 2 laps, so this 3rd lap will finish. Agility 23. The Mark of Grace still hasn't spawned, so I'll just keep going until it does, before I use my lamp. Literally just spawned as I said that. I think 4 laps is the maximum I can do without one here. Okay, using this lamp. Agility. 230 XP, and the XP count from those is getting pretty good. It's about almost 2 laps of this course. I will not get enough XP from other sources to get another agility level, barring another lamp. All right, planted some tomatoes, set it up compost. Next up, I want to go see what the Slayer task is before I kill anything else. Okay, Slayer assignment. Hopefully it's something we can do. Nope. We are now blocked on Slayer. I could spend points on skipping it. Yeah, I'm trying to do the research here to see if it's worth skipping the task. It's a lot of points to spend, but also the nearest troll is extremely far from me right now. And once I get Spria tasks back, yeah, it's like off in this direction. It's a hard call, I'm not sure. You could just as easily get another bad task or an even worse task. I think I'm going to go ahead and use the skip. If I get screwed, I get screwed. This might lead me to avoid Vinaka, though, until we get Spria back. Because I think Spria... Well, let's see. What can't I do with Spria? Spria has 4 tasks I literally can't do. Monkeys, lizards, ice fiends, and dwarves. But all of those are within not too many tiles of me. I guess other than the monkeys, that one's going to be hard. Unless if we get Port Sarum. But in any case, significantly fewer chunks to roll than trolls. I'm just going to sit on it for now. I still have to go through several more cycles without using Spria as a Slayer Master before I'm allowed to use her again. No, I don't think I can rightfully count Spria tasks as being skipped when I literally can't select them due to being blocked on my current Slayer task. So I think I have to cancel the task in order to count Spria, and then I kind of have to make the call of, do I continue to attempt to get regular tasks from Vinaka? Vinaka has a bunch of bad tasks. Ogres, ice warriors, ice giants, trolls, obviously, fire giants, hellhounds, lizards, pyre fiends. I guess what I'm going to try to do here is cancel the troll task and then just keep taking Vinaka tasks once per cycle until I get Spria back, and then never use Vinaka again. All right, screw it. I'm going to do it. Cancel. If it's canceled, I can justifiably say I skipped Spria without taking another task. I really want to take another task, but I don't want to be blocked. Oh, God. I guess if I take another task now, I have no other way of getting Slayer points, right? Because when I do Spria, Spria doesn't give any Slayer points. Fortunately, being Combat 75 is making this worse because there's a bunch of new tasks we can do now at Combat 75. Like hellhounds. I'm just gonna sit here staring at Vinaka. I guess it's not the end of the world if Slayer is blocked for a while. I mean, the only thing that I could unlock is I'm close to wall beasts and then killer watts after that. All right, I'm feeling lucky. Let's just take the assignment here. Fuck. Okay. Well, we can't do lizards, but lizards are very close. I think I'm like a couple chunk rolls away from lizards. I'll double check the chunk picker here. I'd rather be stuck on that. Yeah, I looked it up. It's 2 chunk rolls away from lizards, but that's way closer than the like 1,000 hour block that trolls were. So I think that does mean that I can't advance the Spria. I should have just not taken it. I don't think I can justifiably advance the Spria thing and say that, oh, I skipped Spria because I'm literally blocked from taking Spria as a task. It's not an option for me right now. So that's what I get for gambling. Well, in any case, let me go actually do the new chunk. Cut these 104 trees and 6 U's. Maybe I'll do Soul Wars. There's a regular bird that spawns near the chunk boundary over here. I can't tell if it spawns over here. It's not listed on the wiki. It might be my second bird, and maybe the other one that I can't get to actually is wandering in off chunk. I'll see if I can kill it. I've seen it cross the boundary a couple times. If I can, I'll just mark birds complete. Yeah, just got it. So I don't know which of the two. Oh, I guess it does spawn off boundary. All right, well, I'll mark it as this one. I'll track it as a boundary bird, but technically that belongs down there. Oh, wait, no, here's a second bird. Huh. Okay, so there's a total of 4 birds I can access via chunk boundaries in this chunk. I'm just going to skip that one on the logic that I already have 2. A little good number of inaccessible trees here. I can't get to these 3, for example, or that one down there. It's blocked by the fence. I'm going to get as many as I can. I'll do the U's here in a second. I do like when they restylize trees for these later add areas. They look really good. 6 U's. I can get 1 log each. Okay, U's are done. I think I have all the regular. There might be a couple more down near the chunk border. I'll check. All right, it took a minute, but I am done with everything I can reach in this chunk right now. Can't do the Crimson Swift, sadly. So let's get to working. Got some work to do here. I'm gonna go do Soul Wars since I'm in the area, and it can be pretty impactful depending on the drop. I just barely missed the boat in the next game. I'm just gonna go continue working on chopping trees in the area and mining and all that, and then I'll come back. All right, I got the wood cutting part done. I'm now waiting for a Soul Wars game. Again, we're going for 60 plus zeal. First round, 48 zeal. I think that's the best I've ever done. All right, well, we should be able to hit 60 on the next one then, I think. All right, 34 zeal. Not as good, but we do have enough now that I can get 3 more Spoils of War, so that's quite good. The main thing I still want here would be coal. So here we go. Let's open 1. All right. 190 coal. That is a good case. Oh, we got more coal. Oh my god, I'm so happy. And more mithril ore. That was actually the same. That was interesting. Same rolls. All right, and third one. Not so good. Shit coins drop, but I will take 20 uncut rubies. And I can't do anything with. I've got so much mithril ore. I don't have anywhere near enough coal for all of it. I might want to take advantage of this giant stack of coal now. Go ahead and make a bunch of mithril bars. I guess we learned that I need to make mithril plus steel if I want to make mithril swords. So some of the coal has to go towards steel. So I have to figure out. I might have to turn practically all of my iron from this cycle into steel for that. We'll see. All right, well, to that end, I think I'm just going to go mine then. I'm going to try to get my mining done for the cycle to see how much iron that leaves me with. I think my skilling target spreadsheet, I have a tracker for this. I expect to get about 34 iron just from nodes. I also get more from like flesh crawlers and the like, but I could make 28 steel with that. That'll get me 2 swords. Dr. Jekyll finally spawned. I didn't have the Irrit Leaf on me. I tried running back to the bank chest to see if it would work, because only certain bank chests despawn him, but it looks like the waiting area for Soul Wars is a despawn. That's a bummer. I needed my reminder of this. So I recently did a review of all of these skills. This is in like episode 18 or something like that, where I did like the 20-minute ramble about skills. And in so doing was reminded of the existence of stashes and that I should probably include stashes as a explicit chunk task because they do generate XP. Fortunately, not having used stashes wouldn't have jeopardized any of the chunks we already marked completed. There's a couple where we didn't actually build the stash, but we've had the high enough construction level to do it for some time. So I'm probably going to spend some time here updating the task list with any stashes that need to be built. We'll do the same thing as with quests, where I'll add it as a task, and then once the stash is built, I'll delete it from the task list. I think that it's most problematic in part of Varrock that I'm probably not going to complete for a long time, and in Draenor Village that I am not going to complete for a long time because of the Wise Old Man task. All right, so I forgot I actually have 2 fishing shops, or 2 shops that sell feather packs, so I should be buying out both of them. I'm going to buy out the stock from Ishmael's and from the Shantae Guard. I'm doing mining, I just happen to be in the Ruins of Unkah for mining, so I'm going to buy out the stocks while I'm here. Clicked off it. 52 mining. 3 more levels until we can actually mine mithril. I don't think we're ever going to get anywhere near as much mithril as we're getting from Soul Wars, but it's more mining XP. I am going to try to look for a shooting star later, specifically try to find a tier 5 one that I can mine. Evil Bob random, it's quite nice. Getting lots of XP randoms lately. Unfortunately, I missed that Dr. Jekyll. All right, Come on, fishing XP. Magic. Okay. All right, so I've got 28 steel bars. I'm going to try to make, I guess, 28 mithril bars. And I'll just have to do this cycle to cycle as the iron trickles in. I think I'm not going to be able to make anything with bronze for a while, unless if I do pure bronze alloys, but I think those are really bad. I think the fact that my iron is competing for being either steel or iron is going to be bad for me, so it might make more sense, so long as I have a ton of coal from Soul Wars, to just make pure bronze alloys at Giant's Foundry. I'm not sure. I don't have any particular reason to do this, but I kind of want to cut my gems here, just see what crafting level it gets me to. I haven't really interrogated my crafting level in a while, and I don't know if I'm within spitting distance of like an amulet of strength or anything like that, so just mess with it for a bit. Crafting 42. I guess I can try to get 43 because then I can cut diamonds. I'm going to do something horrible and turn all of my beef into sinew for crafting XP. I have like 1,000 beef, so this is going to take a while. About to hit 55 cooking just for making sinew over here. I'll make anchovy pizza. Okay, finished turning all of the beef into sinew. Now I'm turning all of the sinew into crossbow strings. It's going to take a while. There's crafting 43. I should now be able to cut diamonds. Yeah, I'm going to cut the diamonds that I have just to get some more crafting XP. I'll end up making a decision on how I want to handle leather. I think the problem is that if I choose to make hard leather shields, I'm basically trading fletching XP for more crafting XP. And I also don't have enough nails for all of it, so we'll see. That was quick. 44 crafting. Studded leather chaps. Oh, wow, I'm a real big old dummy. Been doing all these calculations assuming hard leather shield. Didn't realize that the hard leather shield consumes 2 hard leather. So it's actually about the same XP as if I just go ahead and make coifs. In that case, I may as well do as much crafting training as I can and make coifs instead. It's going to get me not quite to 50. I want to try to get 50 to make an Amulet of Strength, because it'll be a pretty big upgrade for melee over the Amulet of Accuracy. I might be able to squeeze it out if I make silver bolts, which don't show up in the calculator list. I'll see what I can do. So 45 crafting. Snakeskin boots. Okay. Okay, that's the end of the sinew. It's a lot of beef. We're about 4 hours, 48 minutes into the cycle. I'm going to try to go work on leather now and see if we can hit 50 crafting. Okay, I just finished turning all of my cowhides into leathers. I hope I have enough thread. I think I have like 200 thread. I don't remember the rate at which thread depletes, but hopefully there's enough that I can turn all of these into, I'm going to do coifs, which I think is going to get me like high 49 or so, but working on that now. This is going to be the processing chunk. Crafting 46. There's crafting 47. Getting there. Crafting 48. There's 49 crafting, and I don't think these are going to get me to 50, so we'll see if I can squeeze it out with like silver bolts or something. I did have enough after all. 50 crafting. Can now make ruby amulets. Yeah, quite nice. Because my calculator was wrong, or I checked it before I finished making all of my crossbow strings is also possible. Okay, done with the crafting grind, just barely hit 50 crafting, so I'm glad I waited until now. Almost out of thread. So, I've actually neglected a couple times picking up the thread. There's like one thread that spawns in Lumberyard. I need to remember to grab that. All of the thread that I have is from ham guards and pickpocketing ham members. I've been discussing in the RuneScape Wiki Discord this Giant's Foundry conundrum. How do I best use my bars? I've made 28 steel bars because our previous discussion was that it's correct to make mithril plus steel and then bronze plus iron. But the problem is there's an opportunity cost with iron ore, right? It either becomes iron bars or steel bars. And so I can't make bronze plus iron. So the question is, do I make pure bronze swords? It seems like those are really terrible. Really bad quality per bar whenever you make a pure sword. And I think making the steel bars was also a mistake because that's every time you make a steel bar, it's an iron bar not made, and it's also half a mithril bar not made, when you're limited on coal, which I am. So I think if I'm thinking super long term, then I'm eventually going to get some crazy source of PVM iron ore and coal that outpaces my mithril stock. That in that situation, I should continue to do mithril plus steel because it'll average out eventually. But the reality of the situation is I have way more mithril ore than I can turn into bars. I only have so much coal, and my bronze is going to be sitting around doing nothing. So what I think I have to do, this is challenging, I think I have to, I'm wondering if I should finish the current cycle and try to get, if I get any PVM iron bars. I kind of wanted to go to Giant's Foundry now. Let me quickly Google, I'm going to look on the OSRS wiki for iron ore drops, and I'm just going to do the PVM activities that drop iron. So I think it's flesh crawlers, and that might be it. Yeah, as far as significant sources of iron, it's pretty much just the flesh crawler. So I kind of want to do processing stuff, which would include Giant's Foundry earlier than I normally do it in the cycle. So I think I'm going to warp over to the Stronghold of Security real quick, do all of the flesh crawler kills, and then I'll come back. But I think going forward, cycle to cycle, what I need to do actually is I need to do mithril plus iron and mithril plus bronze, which means I probably need to make some more mithril bars. It's an interesting problem, not one I've ever had before. Oh, I completely forgot the whole goddamn reason I was training crafting was to get to 50 to make a strength amulet. So let me do that really quick before I pop into the Stronghold of Security. All right, here's the ruby amulet we just worked for. String it. And then cast level 3 enchant. Amazing. Amulet of Strength. So it should give us a max hit increase, I think. Yeah, that's pretty good. No accuracy bonus, but I think +1 max hit is a bigger deal than +4 attack. Looking pretty good. Looking increasingly like a normal noob account. All right, really good flesh crawler run for this cycle. 21 + 1 iron ore. So I'm gonna go ahead and make those into bars. I think going forward, as long as I continue to get mithril and iron in about these ratios, where I'm getting way more mithril and iron because of spoils of war, or mithril and coal because of spoils of war, I think the correct swords to make a Giant's Foundry are weirdly enough going to be iron plus mithril and bronze plus mithril. Usually skipping a tier is pretty bad. You want to make adjacent metal tiers, but I think that this is going to be the ratio of ores that I get for some time. So rather than save my ore for thousands of hours, I think it's probably better to just keep making swords and getting points and getting money, and then maybe at some point we'll find some other PVM source that changes the ratio. All right, I'm here in the Giant's Foundry. I'm just going to make as many swords as I can. I'll report back once I'm done. I think I can make 6. Just hit 61 smithing. 61. All right, just hit 62 smithing, and I'm done with swords this time. Really solid amount of smithing XP this round. I don't think I got any more molds for an extremely long time. So I'm going to start accruing points, I think. Yeah, I think the next mold I get is level 69. Nice. And that is a really good mold, so I will be buying that one. We'll see how many points I get by the time I get to 69, though. I might actually be able to buy that sword. Currently have 1,700 reputation. I'm not going to be buying the Juggernaut Forte because it's not best in slot for anything, so we could conceivably hit this. It's correct to buy the Smith's outfit first, but because the Colossal Blade is best in slot for me for as a weapon, I might want to get it first. All right, so I said I want to do a lot of processing this cycle just to kind of get some out of the way. I might do some fire making training too with some of these regular logs I have banked. For now, I think I'm going to do fletching. Now I know it's correct to like try to make headless arrows while doing other activities, but I'd like to have the AFK for a bit, so I'm just going to sit here and combine these. Probably like 20,000 of these feathers. There it is, 54 fletching. Can now make mithril maple crossbows. Here comes 55 fletching. 65 is the goal. I don't think we're getting it anytime soon, but this technically lets us make broad bolts if I ever get to train Slayer again and don't waste points on skips. So yeah, I'm going to start, since I got all these extra oak logs, my intent of harvesting those oak logs was to train crafting with shields, then it being useless. So I'm just going to turn them into oak longbows. I'll do the same with actually I'll do the willows first, then we can sell them. Here comes 56 fletching. Working through my oak longbows now. It's going to take me a while. Fletching 57, and I think that's going to be the end of my fletching training for now. I can't get any further. I do have, that was perfect. I have exactly 100 willow logs and 100 oak logs left over. Next thing I'm going to do is burn almost all of my regular logs to get some fire making XP. I think I'm going to leave like 500 as my zero balance. It seems like the Grand Exchange is actually the best place to do that. So to do that, I'm going to plant, I'm going to be heading in that direction anyway. I'm going to plant my oak saplings for the cycle, get them growing, and then we're going to burn a whole bunch of logs. 31 fire making. These levels are ridiculously fast, so I'm just going to announce every other level for now until we get to like 40. 33 fire making. Should mention I am trying to pick up these ashes wherever possible, just because I'm going to need them way down the road for herb lore training, way down the road. But I don't know that I'm going to do much more direct fire making training like this for a while, so we'll see. Okay, I spoke too soon about the levels being fast. I'll start doing them level by level. That was 35 fire making. Fire making 36. Fire making 37. 43 is the exciting level because then that gives us a 100% chance to light. Probably should have tried to grind that out sooner so that I'm not having awkward light the bonfire moments at the start of the episode where it takes me several ticks to light it. I'm going to try to keep doing this, though. I think I have enough banked XP to get pretty close to 50 fire making, which we're not going to unlock Winter Tot for any length of time, but more total levels is good. Higher total level is more rewards from the maze random, so also gets us closer to being able to do last man standing if I keep getting really unlucky and not getting a chunk that has a quest point in it. 38 fire making, 39 fire making, 40 fire making, 41 fire making, 2 more until I can't fail anymore. 42 fire making, about to get 43 fire making. I'm sure this is really entertaining for you. 44 fire making. Okay, still working on fire making over here. I've successfully banked 1,000 ashes, which really slows down the process of doing this. So I'm gonna stop making ashes at this point. I only have 150 some Terramins banked. I mean, that's gonna grow. It doesn't matter because I'm probably not gonna reach Shades of Morton for like years at this point, but I guess if I really need ashes at the time, I probably have more logs that I can just burn normally for ashes specifically. Yeah, I'm gonna work through the rest of these. We're not even halfway done. There's 45 fire making. I might stop at 50, we'll see. 46 fire making. Fire making 47 comes 48. I think I am gonna stop at 50 and just save any leftover logs. I don't have any need for fire making levels really. I'm just trying to pump my total level up. 49 fire making. There it is. Okay, 50 fire making. We are done with processing probably for a while. Unless if there's something I specifically very badly need. Yeah, I don't have any more smithing I can do. I can't do herb lore for a long time. I could cook, but I think I'm fine on cooking. I don't know exactly what I'd cook really, because I can only really make stews so long as I have bowls. I guess I could make a bunch of cooked potatoes for random bank standing healing, but I think I'm good. I think I'm going to start working on the cycle proper. So here's the live split timer. It's taken us 11 hours, 41 minutes to do all of this processing and like the first chunk and a handful of early stuff. But I'm going to get to it here. I guess I'm actually going to go kill the sour hogs really fast, just in case I get an adamant scimitar, because that would be a mild upgrade over the adamant sword. Oh my goodness, adamant scimitar. The 7th kill here. Oh, that's so nice. It's not a huge, well, it's +4 melee strength. It actually is kind of a big upgrade. I'm going to swap to it now. Oh, that's so exciting. I'm glad I finally got it. I don't think I have any cause to keep fighting these guys, and that I don't think they have any other particularly amazing drops. The Adamant Kite Shield is less interesting because of the Rune Square Shield. Ah, shit, I can't kill these now. Get out of here. The Rune drops are okay. I guess the Urban Seed drops are okay. I guess they rolled the rare drop table somewhat frequently. 1 in 29,000 isn't super great, but very exciting to have this adamant scimitar. I actually don't know, does that afford me an extra max hit? So with the scimitar, I need 2 strength levels to get another max hit. With the sword, I need 5 strength levels to get another max hit. So yeah, we're actually quite a bit closer. That's even with it on attack. So if I switch to slash, oh boy. Okay. Well, I might need to switch off of attack for a little bit just to justify the fact that I'm already in range of an extra max hit here. I'll go ahead and finish digging 59, and then I think I'm going to switch over to strength for a little bit until I can switch back to attack and maintain a 13 max hit. Big upgrades this episode. Strength Ammy and an Adamant Scimitar. Super, super exciting. I am delighted. We've had this Adamant Sword for, God, when did we get? It's Varrock Square, I think? Yeah, we've had this for a minute, so it's nice to finally get an upgrade. The accuracy difference is pretty substantial, too. 23 was my best possible accuracy before, and now 29. I guess, you know, really it's the slash bonus, because I was already using slash. So really it's going from 18 to 29, but that should help, and it should make it feel less painful to swap back off of attack here to get more max hits. Well, since I got that, I feel kind of invigorated to do some more PVM before I get to the boring woodcutting part of the chunk. So I think I'm going to dive down into Stronghold of Security and start getting some PVM done down there, since I already did Flesh Crawlers a bit ago. Okay, I should hit attack 59 on this guy here, and I'm going to switch to strength. Oh, I got another mime show while doing Catobleppins. Just, come on, game. give me some mazes. 65 hit points. All right, I'm done now with Stronghold of Security. I actually need to take a break. Hey, so it's been a nutty time. It's been a while since I played. I was just doing my 8 mammoths, and I got a genie spawn. I was able to hit recording because I was running around picking up all of the regular bones out there with Protect from Melee on. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that on agility as usual. So let's do that. 230 agility XP. I think that means Al-Kharid will get me a level now, so I suppose I'll go do that. All right, doing 1 lap at Al-Kharid. Grateful to that genie, because we'll get 24 agility here, which is another multiple of 6, which means it'll help with run energy restore a little bit. Here comes agility 24. Excellent. As you can see here from the random event list, I took about 16 days off from the game, so I'm a little scrambled up here. Haven't taken that long of a break so far. I've had a lot of real life stuff going on. I'm going to mark this course complete. I probably need to get back to woodcutting because I've been doing PVM just to enjoy the Adamant Scimitar for a while. No, I'm going to start woodcutting. I'm going to try to clear that out. Okay, so I have to fix a problem, a mistake I made many cycles ago. I made this mistake back in the Barbarian Village chunk where I finally hit woodcutting 60 and chopped the yews in the ham hideout and prematurely declared it complete. I was actually missing the Lost City quest. So I'm going to have to start chopping everything in ham hideout again, and I have to make up for all the yews that I depleted in error. To do that, I'm just going to skip yews and other chunks that I have access to until I catch up. So I think it's a total of 4 yews times 12 cycles where I was depleting them in error. I have to skip yews and depleted chunks 48 times. So I'll keep track of how many times I do that. Right now, I only have 3 other ones in the lumberyard chunk that I can skip right now. Also, I only did oak depletion for 2 cycles, so that's 8 oak trees in the ham hideout times 2 equals 16. So I should be able to clear that one this time. And I have to start clearing that chunk again. I guess the trees that I left behind are just lost to me. I don't have the logs or the XP from them. Obviously, it was nice to not do them, but I don't want to rule on that different ways depending on whether, you know, cutting the regular trees is beneficial to me or not. So I'm going to start fixing that now. Oh, this is pretty lucky. It's got an exam random immediately after the genie. Definitely plopping that directly onto agility. 360 agility XP. Cool. Back here in the ham hideout chunk, chopping these 112 plus 9 trees. Is my penance for missing that Lost City was technically here. Checking health on this tree here. Don't think that's enough for level up, no. Haven't done this in a while. Check out the ham hideout chunk. So I just did the rambling about skills for 20 minutes video. I just recorded that ramble. You've seen that video a long time ago, I'm sure. And in that, I kind of made some rulings about skills that I hadn't addressed before. One of those rulings was stashes that I have to kind of treat stashes the same as quest completions, that if there's a stash that I can't build in a chunk, then I can't complete the chunk. Fortunately, that doesn't break any of our completed chunks right now. For example, North Drainer has an easy stash in it. I've been able to build it since we called North Drainer a 100% completed chunk. I just have to actually go and build it now that I have that ruling. I've had the planks and the necessary levels to do that all along. There are a couple chunks that have like master stashes in them that I'm probably never going to be able to build. One of those I think is actually here in Drainer Village. Yeah, there's a master stash in Drainer Village, South Draenor, so I will probably not be completing this chunk anytime soon. I'm going to start populating my task list with those stash tasks, and we'll mark the ones complete that have already been built. I think I have a thing that tracks which stashes I've built already. So I'm just going to, you know, make up for not having done that in the past, since it's a one-time task and it's a pretty trivial one. Right, so here's a list of stashes I need to build. Chunks that are impacted. East Lumbridge Swamp, I've been able to make easy stashes for a long time. Wizard Tower, same deal. North Al-Kharid, same deal. Al-Kharid Mine, I guess that's not actually complete yet. Lumbridge Manor, North Draenor. For reference, I was able to build medium stashes at the time I unlocked the North Draenor chunk. I just went back and did that check. Grand Exchange, Lumberyard, Silvaria is still not done because of Rag and Bone Man. Shantae Pass and Barbarian Village, both of those were unlocked after North Draenor, which is when I got a high enough level to make medium stashes. I am going to be locked out of completing the South Draenor and Virak Palace chunks because I'll probably never be able to make master stashes, we'll see. But I will be able to finish. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of these right now because I have the planks for it. Hey, I got another agility potion. That's really good. I don't have to walk around with an Irrit leaf on me anymore. I do have one more Irrit leaf though, so I probably should continue to try to turn it into an agility potion if I can. So I'm going to keep one for now. Working on these stashes. Here comes instruction 47 from doing stashes. I don't think that's anything interesting, but I'll check later. All right, this is our last stash to build. Yep. It was 17 stashes I built. You can see all of them listed here. Double checking that matches my list from earlier. That's as many as I can build for now. I have all 3 beginner stashes that exist in the game, and then all the easy stashes and medium stashes in the chunks that I currently exist in. So I'm going to get back to woodcutting now that I've dealt with that problem. I guess for what it's worth, that got me about 3,050 one-time construction XP, so that's cool. Okay, here's the other oak tree. I think this is going to get me a level here. Farming level 30 can now grow willow trees, which I might actually do. Let me see what I need to do to protect them. 1 basket of apples, I can do that. I only have apples from picking them up in the Cook's Guild, but I think I have a decent number of them. Let me check. Yeah, I have enough to cover possibly all of my willow seeds. I only have 2 willow seeds, but I'll plant those this cycle. All right, first ever willow tree planted. I'll also plant one back in Lumbridge later. All right, I'm about to hit 72 woodcutting. I'm almost done with woodcutting. I just have a handful of trees left over in this Champions Guild chunk. 72. Okay, all the mining and woodcutting is done for the cycle. Fly split timer is looking like almost 19 hours. Now that includes a ton of processing that I did at the beginning of the cycle. Thank you so much to Esjil for finding this tier 4 star. I'm going to do my best to mine it for as long as I can now that I can mine again. Actually corrected this chunk because I can do shooting stars again, but I cannot do fish depletion because I started depleting the fish before I started doing the stars. I have all this. I'll clear this plugin out, but anyway, I'll report back how much mining XP and how much stardust I get from this one. All right, I was able to mine all of the tier 4 star without anybody else showing up, so we'll see how far I get it from now. 8,000 mining XP so far, pretty good. Oh, I was typing through it. Mining 53. Oh my god, it's a maze random. Yes, I will do that. This is my third ever maze random on the account in many hours. Ooh, 100 iron arrows, 13 atrians, 14 mithril ore. I don't care about as much, but the iron arrows are great. I think that's literally my 3rd ever maze random. Every other one in this list is a mime random. Oh, weird. The star disintegrated. I guess because I ran out of time? I haven't had that happen before. That's interesting. Yeah, Yeah, I guess it has a 2-hour lifetime regardless of how much I mine from it. So right on. That's cool. It was nice to be able to do the full 2 hours though. And I think I only wasted a little bit of time. Well, not wasted, but I mined it for as much time as I possibly could in that period. I missed a little bit to the maze random. So I've marked the shooting star done. I do need to skip fishing for a couple more cycles because I found out that I fished before starting the shooting star. But we'll keep working on the rest of the cycle here. 56 cooking, just making some stews to facilitate the lumbered swamp caves. Well, I was on a PvP world to try to save some time by using the looting bag and the chest here. This is my first time getting PK'd anywhere near Lumbridge. It hasn't been a problem up till now. I didn't lose anything significant. I lost my looting bag and I lost a single black cape I have an extra of. So I did not lose the Amulet of Strength, which I could remake, or the Adamant Scimitar, or the Irrit Leaf. That would have actually been pretty annoying if I had lost that. So I'm going to go back to doing this. I don't have a looting bag anymore. I'm going to have to get another one later. I guess I also technically lost a bronze square shield that I had from killing goblins earlier. So not a huge impactful death, but it was a bit of a scare. It's very strange to get attacked anywhere around here. But okay, doing my 7 farmers that I can pickpocket 28 times each. About to hit 39 thieving. 1 more to go. 40 is a huge deal for this account. All right, harvesting my first willow tree. Way more XP than an oak tree. Farming 31. I can now grow strawberries, which I might actually want to do. I think there's a way for me to get branches from this that I need for a quest, so I'm gonna try to do that. Right, I forgot about this. Branches don't start growing until after I've checked health for some time, so I'll come back to it later. I'll have to check the Varrock one soon. Holy shit, another maze. Oh my god, 2 in 1 episode? Worst of all time? This is incredible. All right, let's see what we get here. Oh. 283 Chaos Runes is pretty good. 1,275 feathers would have been way better before I got access to a feather shop that refreshes, but that's still pretty nice. And some coins. So not the best maze random. I like getting ammo from it, but also still quite good. Those weren't quite back to back. I had a frog random in between them, but these are both mazes here. I'm gonna go plant some strawberries. I can afford to protect them. It's 2 baskets of apples. Don't have a ton of apples. I get like, I think 3 per cycle from the Cook's Guild. But I also don't have a ton of willow seeds, so I may as well do it. I'm gonna go do it. All right, first ever strawberries planted, and I protected them. Oh, I got my looting bag back. That wasn't too bad. Got it from Thugs. Does that mean I can use the looting bag here? I don't know that I've ever bothered to try. I guess I don't run out of space fighting these. All right, finally gonna kill these outlaws, which lets me get a little bit further in what lies below, but I can't complete the quest, so. All right, about to get a pretty big level, 70 strength coming up here. Staying on strength until 71. Yeah, so I can switch to attack. Now that I have the Adamant Scimitar, that math has changed. Don't think we'll get that next episode, but probably the episode after that. All right, hitting the other willow tree here. Farming 32. I'll grow Ranar, that's cool. All right, first time depleting lobster cage. Probably not gonna get terribly much with it. Very few people ever fish here because of the desert heat problem. Okay, not super great first attempt with depletion there. I got 2 lobsters before it shifted. All right, the second one went way better. 1 more to go. Amusingly, I guess you don't even need water skins while fishing. I don't know if this is just like if you're right on the edge of the coast, you no longer get heat checks, or if it's just while you're fishing, but I haven't had to drink any of them. So that's all of the lobster I was able to get from all 3 nodes. I'm going to switch to the harpoon now. There's fishing 41. I'm on my 2nd node now. All right, that's all I got for tuna. Getting close to the end of the chunk here. Just got a few more things to wrap up, mostly fishing and runecraft. Hello there, it's a genie. I think I just want to use that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get another agility level if I hold on to it. 240 agility XP. I might have actually gotten a level if I had held on to it. Oh well, we'll definitely get 25 next cycle then. Fishing, 42. Just progressing the What Lies Below quest a little bit here. So I'm going to get stuck by not having a Chaos Talisman, but I'll see where it takes me. Alright, so I went ahead and got my first 6 willow branches. I'm going to try to get as many of these as I can before I chop this tree down, since I don't have any more willow seeds. I also need to get the ones from Lumbridge Castle later. Okay, so I think I'm officially stuck, but I'm curious how far I can get with the little secret tunnel that goes there. That secret tunnel has my favorite, like, track. Other than the Inferno, I think the Inferno is my favorite music track in the game. Second favorite, though, is Alternative Route, and I would love to have that in my music player. So I'm going to see if it lets me do it here. Ooh, I think it's let me dig it, which is really exciting, because then I get this music track that I really like. I like to put it on sometimes when I'm just doing something really dull and grindy, like I'll probably use it when I'm chopping wood. I've actually been in this area where you unlock it in an extremely long time. I don't know if there's any items or pickups here. That's an interesting question. We'll see. Actually, in case this lets me do it without the Chaos Talisman, I'm going to grab some Chaos Runes really quick. It might actually be able to finish this quest, which would be great. Ah, and there's the rub. You have to have a Chaos Talisman or a Chaos Tiara to interact with this portal, so that is where we stop, but I did unlock one of my favorite music tracks in the game, so that's pretty exciting. Back to wrapping up the cycle. What is happening? Back to back again over here. Look at this. Double genies. I will save this one for the next... Well, shit. I'm just about to go do rune crafting, which means I have to waste... It's probably worth saving it. I'll get a significantly more agility XP if I save it, and I'm really close to the end of the cycle, so we'll hold on to it. Oh, that's nice. I just got another Irit leaf from the spring garden, so I now have 2 of those in the bank. I'm going to try to keep them on me for as long as possible so I can get some more agility potions. I feel like items like agility potions are more interesting than they would normally be because I really need to be able to get that 1 lap in, right? A little bit of extra XP if I can do the Varrock course a level early would be very, very helpful indeed. I'm basically done now. I just have to... The Hill Giants outside Giants Foundry, and I have just enough bars. I had just enough coal to make 1 more sword at Giants Foundry since I already did most of that at the beginning of the episode. Alright, doing my 1 sword, Mithril and Iron. Alright, turning in this last sword. I still need to do construction training for this cycle. 9390, 18k coins. That's pretty good. I think, is that the level up? No, I was already 62. Okay. I think I already bought the most recent mold. Yeah, so all I have left to do now is do a bunch of construction training. I'll just report whatever levels that ends up producing. Should be about to hit, yeah, there it is. 48 construction. And now boost to make the last costume room thing. Alright, here's a toy box built for the first time. Alright, only have about 8 planks worth of building stuff to do, so I'm not going to waste a law rune on that. 7,497 construction XP there at the end. About time to give my summary. Now, I'm not going to be relying on this XP tracker anymore. It's probably reset it 5 or 6 times during this cycle alone, just from logging out or whatever. So I'm going to get my new spreadsheet solution set up so I can show you my true XP gain, and we'll be back in a second. Okay, it's end of cycle time. Let's start with our usual slow scroll through the task list here. Might have a couple I have to update here while I'm scrolling. I did skip potatoes. I planted but didn't harvest strawberries. We're just going to track planting per cycle because it's easier that way. Not going to be including any cycle where I don't use Spria as a legitimate skip Spria cycle, unless if I actually had the opportunity to skip her. Here, because I'm blocked on a Slayer task, I cannot. Hello. I had a Irit leaf on me, but... Well, looks pretty good to me. Nothing particularly shocking. I am trying to keep track of all of these U depletes that I have to do. I'm going to skip the U depletes by not depleting them in the lumberyard chunk. I have to make up for 48 times, so that's a lot of times. But, you know, we did 3 of them this time. We'll see if we get more U's in the future. And oak depletes I've already made up for, so I'm just going to remove that for the next cycle here. Also, I already mentioned this, but just to reiterate, I was able to do the shooting star this cycle, but not fishing, because I did fishing for 2 extra cycles before I started doing the shooting star. So we've got this one we skipped fishing. That's number, I guess this is actually 5 of 6, because we'd already done 4 cycles before this. We have to skip fishing 1 more time after this. The next one's going to be 6 of 6. I'll make sure I correct that. All right, now we'll look at XP. Like I said, I'm using the in-game gold tracker to calculate these. That are on the right is in my Google spreadsheet, sorted descending by how much XP I got. 88k fire-making XP, definitely the most fire-making XP I've ever gotten. Close to the most XP I've gotten in a single skill in a single cycle. It was worth getting the extra levels there. You know, more total level, better for the maze random. Eventually going to be better for last man standing if we don't get a dang quest point. Strength, doing pretty well. Doing great on smithing because of all that mithril and coal. Put a lot of time into fletching and crafting. Just what we choose to do this cycle. Just lots and lots and lots of processing skills. Everything else looks pretty standard. Mining has obviously jumped quite a bit from what we used to be getting. I'm going to show you the difference between the gains on this cycle versus last cycle here in a second. I think that's also going to be interesting information. Thieving is the most important skill for me right now. I am breathtakingly close to level 40. Level 40 lets me finally pickpocket guards, which I think is actually going to let us complete at least a couple chunks, which should hopefully speed things up in the future. So really looking forward to that one. Farming XP is a pretty big jump from all of the seeds we were able to plant. Everything else looks pretty standard though. As far as levels that I care about on the horizon, 27 agility so that we can boost for the Varrock rooftop course. 55 mining, which seems realistic if we can keep doing shooting stars for the full period. So this is the delta. This is the difference between my XP gain on this cycle versus last cycle. So a lot of these are going to be pretty similar, right? But I guess we'll just look at some of the big differences. That 23k extra mining XP is basically 100% from the shooting star becoming available again. The extra smithing XP is entirely from that awesome Soul Wars drop that we got. Fishing XP increase is from lobster pots and tuna. We actually ended up with less agility XP because last cycle we were able to use that lamp. Threw an extra 2k on there. Slayer is way down because we're blocked on Slayer now, sadly. And attack is way down, but that difference is pretty much made up in the increase in strength. That's because we got the adamant scimitar. And I'm going to switch to leveling strength until we can keep our max hit when switching to attack. And that is everything XP-wise for this cycle. I can actually calculate the average amount of XP that I earned, which is kind of interesting. 23k per skill. And 529k total. All right, enough of that. Let's look at other things here. Live split timer. 30.5 hours. Quite a bit more than last cycle, although most of that was spent on processing skills. Total time played, 18 days, 19 hours. We got to look at, I guess, supply usage. Probably introduced this earlier, but got some questions about how I'm allowed to use stuff inside the player-owned house. Does it break my rule about infinite usage? So I don't want to use anything in the POH for training. I don't want to like be cooking in there and saying, oh, I have an infinite source of tools and an infinite source of food and that kind of a thing. So I'm allowed to make stuff in the POH if I'm going to use it. Like if I end up making a Chef's Delight barrel, I can make Chef's Delight, right? But other than that, it's not really limited. It's going to work kind of like agility shortcuts. I can make as many as I need. In this case, I needed to drink the tea 3 times to get all the boosts that I wanted, to craft all the stuff that I wanted to craft. And it's like such a middling amount of cooking XP that I'd rather adjudicate it that way than to say, oh, I can only make tea once per cycle, you know. Yeah, the rest of this is all pretty straightforward. Do our slow scroll of the loot tracker, and then I'll show you the bank. So all looks pretty legitimate. I did over pickpocket a farmer one time, what it's worth. I will fix that next cycle, but man, is it hard to not over pickpocket sometimes, especially when you're trying to do like the menu swap. Yeah. 199, this should be 198. I'll fix it. Here's the bank update. New this cycle, 531 soul runes. I'm not going to use those for a long time. A potato cactus seed. The amulet of strength is a big upgrade. The adamant scimitar is a big upgrade. A bigger upgrade than I thought it was, actually. Seed dipper just means I forgot to give it back. The tool leprechaun. This folder is done with. That's from What Lies Below. An Aventos seed and 12 willow branches. I need a total of 18 willow branches for the entire account. So I'll need 12 for Enlightened Journey and 6 for Medium Diary Step. So I'm probably going to grab 6 more next cycle, and then we'll just chop down those willow trees and not worry about it ever again. Okay, clean things up a bit. Slow bank scroll, and we'll look at the bank memory comparison. Still coming ahead on law runes, so that's always nice to see, despite using quite a few house teleports. Lots of logs being spent from all that fletching that I did. Or this is compared to the end of the previous cycle. So yeah, that's I think that's just about everything. Let me double check real quick. Oh yeah, I suppose random events. Date across several dates. I took a 16-day break over here, but I think this is about as far back as you need to see. I'm getting all kinds of XP randoms. I'm crazy lucky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So many. Really, really good stuff. Okay, without further ado, let's look at the chunk picker. Sweet, here we are. Just start zoomed out to remind you that we have all these tiles over here in the Isle of Souls and also down here in the Ruins of Unka. I added a bunch of dice icons for the tiles on the Isle of Souls that would allow an immediate reroll, like skipping the bonfire, and it's a good chunk of them. Anywhere that doesn't have those dice icons, I would not be able to reroll right away. Not a lot new here. I guess these two are both dice, so I don't really care. I want to get closer up here because that would get me mortar and pestle finally, and I can use that. So I got a comment recently about a handful of minigame teleports that have 0 restrictions. Like I guess there's one to Burthorpe. I'm gonna poll people about this in a past. So from your perspective, you've already been polled about it, but I haven't edited that episode yet. So I'm going to ask people's thoughts on whether or not I should include unrestricted minigame teleports to the board or not. It's already pretty complicated, but, you know, I guess we had some more interesting places to land on. It could be some more cool things to find. Just recapping, I really want this. I want to do Into the Abyss. I want to do it more now. Now I could finish What Lies Below if we get this. I could runecraft at every single altar. I could do the runecraft minigame. This is my most wanted chunk by far. I would love to see Falador. I'd love to see anything that gets us closer to Taverley, because being able to unlock Herblore would be a gigantic unlock for this account. Temporos, I think I want almost as much as this guy over here. And Port Sarum also unlocks an enormous amount of content. So there's several chunks that I really, really badly want. Getting this South Falador chunk would be quite nice. Just because it gets us closer to a house portal. There's an altar there. I don't hate it. I'd love to get Poland of Nietzsche. Really just a good roll would be great, because we've had a string of really boring chunks, and I hope to not get a boring chunk here. So let's just do it, shall we? Let's just pick the chunk and see what happens. What did I think of this one? This is a general thumbs up. Okay, black guards, 8 dwarves. Raccoons. Hopefully I can actually get up onto this hill. I think I can. Oaks. Small number of trees, although I think the evergreens count as trees, sadly. Multi-cannon parts that I can't do anything with. Quest progression, none of which start here. Access to the Dwarven Mine, which is why this, I would say, shouldn't this be a skip? But I guess we're new to dwarves or new to blackguards. We're new to the Dwarven Mine, and I think the Dwarven Mine is actually a huge deal. I need to remind myself what all is connected in there. Let me read through the connections real quick. On the body altar is cool too. Yeah, I'm not mad about this. This is pretty good. We can use all those body talismans to make body tiaras for a handful of extra XP. I think I can get a rune pickaxe in the Dwarven Mine, which would be amazing. Let me take a look. Okay, well, first of all, I may have underestimated this chunk. This chunk connects the Motherlode Mine and to the Mining Guild. Which I guess the Mining Guild is technically part of the Dwarven Mine. But that means I can get to all of those as long as I don't surface into East Falador, right? So that's a huge fucking deal. This should not have been a thumbs up. This should have been probably at least silver or bronze, if not gold. A bunch of dwarves. Bronze chain body I can throw in Giant's Foundry. Crossbow shop is going to be big, since I can't make a better crossbow since I don't have teaks. The mining store is there. The pickaxe shop is there. Yeah. This is a hell of a roll. It might actually take a long time for me to do all this stuff, but that's fine. Yeah, this is a much bigger deal than I first estimated it. I really hope I can... I should probably go check and make sure I can get there before I spend too much time gloating about it. Give me 1 second. All right, party's over. I just got back from checking out my main, and sadly, I could even see it on the map here. The little ramp to get up there is in the monastery chunk, which I can actually do now if we roll it again. Now it's an actually rollable chunk. So all those happy things I said are not true. It will be true if we roll the monastery. That would be a huge, 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 huge deal. This is now I would probably say a crown chunk. Gold crown. Really, really want it really bad. There's still a body altar and some trees. So I wouldn't say this is totally boring. It is getting us closer and closer over to Taverley. I think it's net good, but for now, we're going to need to unlock a few more chunks for this to be really exciting. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you next time for the next episode. Bye.